Hello everyone, and welcome back to Decafacts. Today we're diving into a topic that's on the scandalous side of politics. You know, the kind of scandals that completely turn the tide for a politician, often ruining their careers overnight. Politics can be a tricky game, and sometimes, one wrong move, whether it's a corrupt deal, a personal misstep, or just a scandalous secret, can be the end of the road. So, grab a seat, and let's count down 10 political scandals that changed the lives and careers of politicians in the blink of an eye. Alright, let's jump in. 10. Spiro Agnew's bribery scandal. Starting off at number 10, we've got Spiro Agnew, former vice president under Richard Nixon. Agnew's downfall was a mix of bribery and corruption charges. In 1973, he was accused of accepting kickbacks while he was governor of Maryland and as vice president. Though he denied the charges at first, the pressure built up, and Agnew resigned from the vice presidency within days of the charges being brought to light. Agnew's case is a reminder that even the second highest office in the country isn't immune to scandal. 9. Eliot Spitzer and the Client 9 scandal. Eliot Spitzer was New York's former governor and was considered a political heavyweight in New York politics. Spitzer was a rising star, known for his tough stance on Wall Street. But his political career came crashing down in 2008 when it was revealed he had been involved with a high-priced prostitution ring. The scandal was dubbed Client 9, and it destroyed his reputation almost overnight. Despite his political achievements, he was forced to resign just days after the news broke. It's a story of how quickly public opinion can change, especially when it involves personal morality. 8. Anthony Weiner and the sexting scandal. At number 8, we have one of the more bizarre scandals, the infamous Anthony Weiner sexting scandal. The former congressman from New York was caught sending explicit messages and pictures to multiple women online. But what really sealed his political fate was the fact that after his first scandal, he returned to politics, only to get caught in a second sexting scandal just a few years later. His career crumbled after that, and despite numerous apologies and attempts to rehab his image, he was ultimately sentenced to prison for sending explicit messages to a minor. 7. John Edwards and the affair scandal. Number 7 takes us to former U.S. Senator John Edwards. In 2008, Edwards was a serious contender for the presidency, until it was revealed that he had an affair with Rael Hunter, a campaign videographer. What made this scandal even worse was the discovery that Edwards fathered a child with Hunter and had been using campaign funds to cover up the affair. He was ultimately indicted for campaign finance violations, although the jury couldn't reach a verdict on the charges. Despite that, his career never truly recovered, and Edwards has remained a controversial figure ever since. 6. Rod Blagojevich and the Senate seat scandal. At number 6, we have former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Blagojevich made headlines in 2008 when he was arrested for attempting to sell the Senate seat vacated by Barack Obama after Obama was elected president. The FBI had recorded Blagojevich discussing how much he could sell the seat for, which led to his arrest and eventual impeachment. He was sentenced to 14 years in prison, but later had his sentence commuted by President Donald Trump in 2020. However, his political career was irreparably damaged, and he became a symbol of corruption in American politics. 5. Mark Sanford and the Hiking the Appalachian Trail scandal. Coming in at number 5 is former South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford. Sanford was caught in a lie in 2009 when he claimed he was hiking the Appalachian Trail, while, in fact, he was in Argentina having an affair with his mistress. Once the truth came out, Sanford's political career took a massive hit. He resigned as chairman of the Republican Governors Association, but eventually, he did return to politics and even served in Congress again. His scandal, however, was never fully forgotten, and it haunted him for years. 4. The Benghazi scandal. At number 4, we have the Benghazi scandal, which dominated U.S. politics for years after the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya, on September 11, 2012. 4 Americans, including Ambassador Christopher Stevens, were killed in the attack. While the event itself was tragic, the political storm truly began after questions arose about the Obama administration's handling of the attack. Critics, particularly Republicans, accused then-Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and other officials of failing to provide adequate security for the compound and misleading the public about the nature of the attack, initially calling it a spontaneous protest rather than a coordinated assault by militants. The scandal became a key talking point during Clinton's presidential campaign in 2016, as opponents argued that she had mishandled both the response and the subsequent investigation. Despite numerous congressional hearings and investigations, no direct evidence of wrongdoing was found on Clinton's part. but the scandal left a lasting stain on her political career. 3. The Duke Cunningham bribery scandal. At number 3, we have former U.S. Congressman Randy Duke Cunningham, who represented California's 50th District. Cunningham was a highly decorated Navy veteran and a member of the House Appropriations Committee, which gave him a significant amount of power over government contracts. In 2005, Cunningham was convicted of accepting bribes from defense contractors in exchange for steering lucrative government contracts their way. He was caught when investigators uncovered over $2.4 million worth of bribes, including cash, luxury gifts, and a yacht. Cunningham's scandal came as a major shock to many, as he had been seen as a respected member of Congress. His arrest and subsequent guilty plea in 2006 led to him serving over 8 years in prison, a stark fall from grace for a once prominent politician. 2. Justin Trudeau and the blackface scandal. Number 2 brings us to former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who faced a huge controversy when photos surfaced of him wearing blackface on multiple occasions, including at a costume party and in a yearbook photo. While Trudeau initially apologized, the scandal overshadowed his re-election campaign in 2019, though he ultimately won a second term. The scandal plagued his career, and he eventually resigned in 2025. It's a reminder that even if you apologize, public perception can take a long time to heal. 1. The Cash for Questions scandal. Finally, we have the Cash for Questions scandal, which rocked the UK in the 1990s. Several members of Parliament were implicated in taking bribes in exchange for asking certain questions in Parliament. The scandal led to resignations, criminal charges, and forever altered the British political landscape. The exposure of these shady dealings destroyed several political careers and remains one of the biggest scandals in UK politics. So there you have it. 10 political scandals that ruined careers overnight. The truth is, in politics, one mistake can change everything, and sometimes the public just isn't willing to forgive. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on the wild world of politics. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next countdown.